Buns, Callan here, welcome back to my channel. In my last live stream, I was asked what the Star Palace Trio's Pokemon teams would be. It wasn't something I could fully answer mid-stream, but I wanted to revisit it in a video to tell you all what I came up with. We'll start with Mirage. So, Mirage's Pokemon are easy enough to get. They would have both a Shuppet and a Bayonet because, you know, Ghost Puppet Pokemon. Let's also look at their Pokedex entries. Shuppet first appeared in Ruby and Sapphire. In the Sapphire Dex entry, it says, Shuppet grows by feeding on dark emotions such as vengefulness and envy in the hearts of people. It roams through cities in search of grudges that taint people. And the Ruby entry for Bayonet is, Bayonet generates energy for laying strong curses by sticking pins into its own body. This Pokemon was originally a pitiful plush doll that was thrown away. They would also have a Mimikyu, though it would be one who either didn't do a very good job with its disguise, or has a disguise that someone else broke. At their current level of relationship, Mirage would be working on getting the Mimikyu to trust them enough to let them fix the poor thing's costume. Its Moondex reads, a lonely Pokemon. It conceals its terrifying appearance behind an old rag so that it can get closer to people and other Pokemon. Mirage's last Pokemon would be a Hatterene. She first appeared in the game's Sword and Shield, and her Shield Dex entry says, if you're too loud around it, you risk being torn apart by the claws of its tentacle. This Pokemon is also known as the Forest Witch. Hatterene is more or less the pastel goth version of Eerie for Mirage, which, you know, is something that G-Knight pointed out to me while we were playing the game together. They're also known for getting very attached to their trainers despite usually liking solitude. And, you know, her wanting to silence you if you're being too loud kind of fits in with the whole librarian thing. Well, Mirage's team is pretty straightforward. Most of Fairy's Pokemon would be relatively deceptive. All of them look like cute little things, but each of them has a sense of deep darkness to them. Ever seen a Phantump before? Those little guys first appeared in Pokemon X and Y, and their Y-Dex reads, according to old tales, these Pokemon are stumps possessed by the spirits of children who died while lost in the forest. That's right, Phantumps are dead children. Bulbapedia even goes on to say, this Pokemon's cries sound like the voice of a child or eerie screams. People have become lost following the voice, but Phantump is attempting to make friends. Her second Pokemon would be a Yamask. Yeah, okay, this little guy's already looking a little spooky, but you see that medallion he's carrying? That's his old face. That's right, the Pokemon Black Dex entry for this one is, each of them carries a mask that used to be its face when it was human. Sometimes they look at it and cry. Another dead human spirit. Her next Pokemon would be the female variant of Jellicent. What a cutie, right? Let's take a look at both their black and white Dex entries. The fate of the ships and crew that wander into Jellicent's habitat. All sunken, all lost, all vanished. They propel themselves by expelling absorbed seawater from their bodies. Their favorite food is life energy. That's right, this Pokemon is a cold-blooded killer. They sink ships, build their homes out of the wreckage, and feed off of the life energy of the humans they drown. Her last Pokemon would be a Jigglypuff. Now, you're probably looking at me and going, Callan, no, the Jigglypuff just likes to sing, right? Her Dex entry reads, uses its alluring eyes to enrapture its foes. It then sings a pleasing melody that lulls the foe to sleep. Now, this looks innocent enough. It only puts its victims to sleep, right? Right, Jigglypuff isn't all that harmful to others. However, she can unfortunately become harmful to herself. It is actually entirely canon that Jigglypuff will sometimes forget to breathe while she's singing someone to sleep. In fact, if a Jigglypuff is having trouble putting an enemy to sleep, it will actually sing itself into suffocation and die. Man, Pokemon is a lot darker than you remember, isn't it? Thankfully, our last set of Pokemon are a lot more wholesome. Next up, we're talking about Savvy's Pokemon. Obviously, here we're going for a medical theme, as well as just an overall pretty theme. Starting with Chansey. Chansey was the very first Pokemon we saw being paired up with a Nurse Joy to work in the Pokemon Center. As such, she had to be on the list for his team. Her red dex entry reads, a rare and elusive Pokemon that is said to bring happiness to those who manage to get it. Though a lot of her other dex entries also talk about the eggs a Chansey will carry around. These eggs hold very high nutrition, and the Chansey will share these daily laid eggs with sick or injured people and Pokemon to help them feel better. His second Pokemon would be a Gardevoir, which first appeared in Ruby and Sapphire. Both of these dex entries say, Gardevoir has the ability to read the future. If it senses impending danger to its trainer, this Pokemon is said to unleash its psychokinetic energy at full power. Gardevoir has the psychokinetic power to distort the dimensions and create a small black hole. This Pokemon will try to protect its trainer even at the risk of its own life. These Pokemon are known for forming very strong bonds with their trainers. They can feel their person's emotions and will get so attached that they'll even give their own life to protect them. Honestly, there's no Pokemon that fits Zavy more, simply because of that. Next up is Milotic. This Pokemon is said to be the most beautiful of all Pokemon, though as pretty as she is, that's not the reason Zavy has one. Milotic has the ability to calm angry energy in the area by releasing a burst of calming energy, meaning she's good at calming others who need it. Her dex entry is, Milotic live at the bottom of large lakes. When this Pokemon glows a vivid pink, it releases a pulsing wave of energy that brings soothing calm to restless spirits. Milotic and Zavy's next Pokemon, Lurantis, also have nice circus-like patterns on them. Lurantis lets off a very soft, sweet scent, which is another reason why Zavy would have one of them. Its Ultra Moon dex reads, as it slashes into its enemies, it looks like it's dancing. Its elegant appearance has led some to call it the most glamorous grass Pokemon. Needless to say, this would be Zavy's main battle-ready Pokemon. And last, but most certainly not least, where would Zavy's team be without, a sheep of some sort? And the absolute best choice for that would be a Mareep. Mareep first appeared in Pokemon Gold and Silver, but my favorite dex entry for it is from Ruby, which is, Mareep's fluffy coat of wool rubs together and builds a static charge. The more static electricity is charged, the more brightly the light bulb at the tip of its tail grows. While it might not be the best Pokemon for caretaking, Zavy would adore the ever-loving daylights out of it because, it's a sheep. And there you have it! Each of the Star Palace bought Pokemon teams if they were in the Pokemon universe. Though I suppose that would technically be another human AU. If any of you would like to know Erie and Shura's Pokemon teams, let me know down in the comments and I'll make another video. For those of you that are new to the channel, don't forget to like and subscribe to see when I post more fun Star Palace content. I'll see you all in the next mess. Later, Gators!